Mr. Dozie was a man who believed only sons could help expand the family business. He already had 2 girls, Obiageli and Nkechi, and wanted a son desperately. So he visited the village Dibia to ask the gods to bless him with a male child. After providing all the requirements, his wife got pregnant. His excitement was beyond measure, but he was disappointed when his wife gave birth to another female child. He confronted the Dibia, but his response was that the ways of the gods are different. He named her Zikora. 2 years later, he went to visit another Dibia in a neighboring village, requesting that the gods bless him with a male child. Again, he was disappointed. He angrily told his wife never to get pregnant again. When the child was presented to him for naming, he refused to name her. She was named Chiamaka by her mother. Mr. Dozie didn't care about his children because they were girls. The girls did everything they could to make him accept them, but they failed, so they avoided him. They were hardworking, but he never noticed because he never paid attention, thinking it was only male children who could help him in his business. Years passed and business was going down. He then traveled to a distant land in search of a powerful deity he had heard about. This time, he had a different request. When he arrived at the village, he met a young man who took him to the shrine and told him to state his purpose and leave. Surprised to know that there was no priest, he began to wonder if he should speak to the tree or to the pot at the root of the tree. He knelt down and requested wealth, power, and fame instead of a male child. When he was done speaking, a loud voice came out from the pot. "There is a price for every request," it said. "Are you willing and ready to pay?" "Yes," he answered without hesitation. "All right then," the voice said, and told him the price. Mr. Dozie left happily afterwards. A few weeks into his wife's pregnancy, his business blossomed. He became famous in the village. Everyone talked about him. People wondered how he became so rich within a short period. Finally, his wife gave birth to another female child. His wife named her Onyemechi, which means "who knows tomorrow," but she fondly called her Onyi. Onyi was a bright young girl, born with a special gift of observation. Unlike her sisters, she was quiet and reserved, smart, intelligent, and very observant. While others were busy playing, she would sit in a corner, listening and observing things. When Onyi was 15 years old, she noticed something strange coming from her father's hut. The hut stood alone in the compound, and no one dared go there unless invited by their father. She waited until it was very late at night so that she could see through the cracked mud wall when the lantern was on. Everyone was sleeping, but Onyi sneaked out to her father's hut. As she walked closer, she could see light through the cracks in the wall, and it was through it she looked inside. Her father was digging a hole in the ground. From the hole, he took out a leather bag. The bag was full of money, more money than Onyi had ever seen. But then, her father took out something else, a small clay pot wrapped in a red cloth. The pot was small, but her father looked at it like it was very important. He unwrapped the pot carefully, then he talked to it. 3 more years, he said to the pot. 3 more years and I will finish paying my debts. Then you will give me the balance of what you promised. Onyi could not believe it. Her father was talking to a pot. The pot seemed to move in the light, and she thought she heard it whisper back to her father. The sound was like dry leaves blowing in the wind. Her father wrapped the pot again. He put everything back in the hole and covered it with a mat. Onyi ran back to the main hut. That night, she could not sleep. She kept thinking, what promise did my father make to a clay pot? 3 years passed quickly. Onyi was now taller, but her family still did not notice her, except her mother, because she was always by herself. For the father, she was a child he never wanted. Nobody remembered her birthday except her mother. When Onyi was 18 years old, a rich trader came to their compound. His name was Udoka. He had 3 servants with him. Onyi noticed that he smiled too much. His eyes looked at things in a strange way. Dozie, Udoka shouted to Onyi's father. I hear you have daughters of marriageable age. My master in the city is looking for a wife. He is very rich and powerful. He wants a village girl. Onyi watched from behind a big stone as her father smiled. This was the smile her father used when he wanted something. I have 4 daughters, he said. Onyi noticed something. Her father said 4 daughters, not 5. He was not counting her again. Her father brought out her 4 sisters. Obiageli the talkative, Nkechi the cook, Zikora the beautiful one, Chiamaka the mischievous one. Udoka looked at each sister carefully. He asked them questions. He made them walk. He listened to their voices, but he said no to all of them. Mr. Dozie became angry. These are my best daughters. Do you have any other daughters? Udoka asked, his eyes searching the compound like a hawk looking for food. Nobody spoke. Onyi felt her mother's hand squeeze her arm. No, her father said. These are all. Father! Onyi spoke before she could stop herself. Everyone looked at her. Maybe this was the first time her whole family looked at her at the same time. You have 5 daughters, not 4, she said. Udoka smiled. He walked slowly to Onyi. He looked at her for a long time and said, What is your name? Beautiful girl, who reminds her father that she exists. Oyemechi, she replied. Who knows tomorrow? Udoka said, translating her name. But are you beautiful? He asked again. Oyemechi looked straight in his eyes and said, I don't know. Nobody has ever looked at me long enough to decide. Udoka laughed. The laugh sounded like coins falling into an empty well. I want this one for my master, he echoed. No, her father said quickly. She is too young. She is, but Udoka cut in sharply. My master will pay 50 bags of coin, plus 10 cows, 10 goats, and iron rods. Everyone became silent. 50 bags of coin was a lot of money. With that much money, her father could buy more land. He could become the richest man among the next 10 villages. Onyi watched her father's face. She could see him thinking. He wanted the money, but he was also afraid of something. But money won. Money always won. She will need time to get ready, he said. No, no time, Udoka replied. My master is waiting. We leave in 3 days. I will pay you when I come back with the girl. That night, Onyi went back to her father's special hut and waited until he stepped out to go rest. She waited until he was sleeping and snoring, then she went inside. She dug where she had seen him dig 3 years before. The leather bag was still there with more money, but the clay pot was gone. They left the next morning when the sun was coming up. Onyi, Udoka, and his 3 servants who did not talk. Her mother cried. Her sisters said nothing. Her father did not come out to say goodbye. Where are we going? Onyi asked as they walked. The city, Udoka replied. The big city. You are a lucky girl. Who is your master? Onyi asked again. An important man. Don't worry, you will meet him soon. Why does he want a village wife? She asked one more time. Udoka smiled, but it was not a nice smile. He wants someone he can control completely, he replied. They walked for 3 days. Each day, Onyi noticed something was wrong. They were not going to the city. The sun was in the wrong place. The land looked strange. On the 3rd night, they stopped by a river. The river was black in the moonlight. Udoka's servant made a fire. The fire burned with blue edges. I think we are not going to the city, Onyi said. Udoka looked at her across the strange fire. He stopped smiling. Without a smile, his face looked very old and tired. No, he agreed. We are not. Where are we going then? Onyi asked. To pay a debt, he replied, and took something from his bag. It was wrapped in red cloth. Do you know what this is? He asked. When he recognized it, her heart began to beat very fast upon seeing it. My father's pot, she said. Your father's problem, Udoka replied. 18 years ago, your father went to a powerful deity. Your father was desperate. He had 4 daughters and no sons. His farm was failing. People laughed at him, so he made a deal. Udoka unwrapped the pot. In the firelight, the pot looked like it was breathing. The deity gave your father this pot. It is a spirit pot. It brought your father money, respect, everything he wanted. But spirits do not give gifts for free. They want payment. What payment? Onyi asked. A life, Udoka said. Instantly, Onyi knew she was the sacrificial lamb and she was in big trouble.